This moment might mark one of the most delicate turning points in recent royal history. Prince Harry and King Charles have finally met in person after more than a year, and not just for optics, but under a cloud of unresolved grievances, health concerns, and public scrutiny. Was this tea at Clarence House just a gesture, or something more daring? A step toward rekindling what was broken? Let's unravel this meeting, the fallout, and what could come next. The distance between Harry and the royal family hasn't just been physical, it's been built from years of uneasy truths. After stepping back from senior royal roles in 2020, Harry and Meghan didn't just leave behind royal duties, they aired grievances. There were interviews, public statements, the Oprah interview, and then Spare, his memoir, which laid down private moments for global viewership. King Charles, meanwhile, faced his own challenges. His health, including a formal cancer diagnosis, shifted public focus. But it also raised questions. Is he still able to lead, to protect the institution, to maintain privacy? For many inside the royal machine, that meant bracing for leaks, managing optics more tightly than ever. Through all this, Prince William's relationship with Harry stayed distant. Brothers separated not just by miles, but by narrative. What's shared, what's held back, what's claimed. This divides public sympathy, family loyalty, and the very story the monarchy tells about itself. Reconciliation didn't start suddenly. It built in quiet steps. In July, Harry's communications chief was seen meeting with the royal household's communications team. That attracted attention. A potential opening. Observers saw that as a signal Harry wanted more than headlines. He wanted connection. Harry's return to the UK was timed around emotionally loaded moments. The 3rd anniversary of Queen Elizabeth's death, charity work, public memorials. He wasn't just visiting. He was re-engaging with traditions that run deep in royal symbolism. By the time September 10th came, expectations had shifted. Many wondered, would there finally be something more than separate speeches and distant appearances? Would there be face-to-face? At approximately 5:20 p.m. local time, Prince Harry arrived at Clarence House. King Charles had returned to London from Balmoral earlier that day. Both men entered into a private tea meeting confirmed by multiple sources. The meeting lasted about 55 minutes. It was unscheduled publicly beforehand, no advance announcement. Harry had cleared much of his day, not only this meeting, but multiple engagements, paying tributes, attending charity events, visiting the Center for Blast Injury Studies. Charles was also busy, awards, council meetings, the usual royal duties. Yet they found a window. Some insiders say Charles' diary was adjusted so they could meet. What they said in that room is private. There are no public statements, no photographic evidence beyond arrival and departure. What we do know is what was left unsaid. William was nowhere to be seen. The meeting was intimate, yet cautious. A meeting after 19 months is, in royal terms, not small. First in nearly 2 years. For Harry, it's a chance to remind the world he still has ties to the institution, even if they've frayed. For Charles, it's a balancing act, to show openness without giving away too much, to protect tradition and dignity while dealing with personal pain. It's also a message, to supporters and critics alike. The monarchy is under constant scrutiny by tabloids, social media, streaming platforms. Every appearance carries risk, interpretive risk, narrative risk. When a private meeting happens, it's never fully private. Not anymore. There's also a health factor. Charles's condition places urgency on reconciliation, some say. For Harry, there's the legacy of family and expectations, especially given how much has already been exposed, how little has been resolved publicly. Even with this meeting, the underlying fractures haven't healed. The past still looms large. Harry's memoir Spare, his public critiques, interviews, they left marks that trust alone may not easily erase. Security remains a flashpoint. Harry lost his bid to restore taxpayer-funded security escorts in the UK, a case he pursued in court. That case served as both grievance and evidence for him that decisions made by the royal household affect his safety and daily life. William's absence is signal. Not meeting Harry this visit suggests the estrangement remains between the siblings. That gap may be harder to close than any between Harry and Charles. Also, privacy. The royal family no longer controls all the narrative. Social media, streaming, tabloids, Netflix, they amplify what's said behind closed doors. If something's leaked, misinterpreted, or spun, it could undo goodwill in hours. Let's run through what might follow, depending on choices each party makes. Scenario 1. Slowly increasing reconciliation, more face-to-face meetings, public appearances together, a joint statement, perhaps even William stepping forward. Scenario 2. Symbolic gestures only, more tea meetings, symbolic events, but no major shift in relationships or trust, a facade of healing more than real mending. Scenario 3. Backlash or leak. Something from the tea meeting becomes public in a way that Charles or aides didn't intend. Misquote, rumor, amplified by media, trust broken again. Scenario 4. Harry enhances his brand via public engagements, perhaps by producing content, documentary, speeches tied to this moment. He has motives, relevance, public sympathy, standing in the broader royal narrative. Risks abound. For Charles, missteps could be seen as weakness or being manipulated. For Harry, being seen as performing rather than reconciling could alienate both critics and supporters. For the monarchy, the stakes are high. Image, stability, tradition versus modern scrutiny. This meeting isn't happening in a vacuum. The public and media are watching. Commentary columns see this as a test. Can the royals adapt to transparency demands? Will private grievances remain private? The British public has seen royal leaks, controversies, and expectations shift. Social media has no patience for silence or perceived hypocrisy. Meanwhile, global observers see this as a litmus case for monarchy in the 21st century. Royal watchers, historians, biographers, they're parsing every detail. The timing, duration, body language, absence of William, private versus public. This story intersects with themes of legacy, loyalty, mental health, security, and authenticity. So where does that leave things? The tea at Clarence House was not an endpoint. It was a step, a hopeful sign, but also a reminder. Reconciliation requires more than physical presence. It requires consistency, courage, and trust earned, not just assumed. This moment could mark the beginning of something real, or it could be another pause in the ongoing royal drama. It may stand for healing, or merely signal something to clients, cameras, critics. Here's what I believe. For true change, it's not the meeting that matters most. It's what comes after. Will words become actions? Will distance be turned into closeness, or more silence? What do you think? Did this moment rewrite the royal story, or just give it a new headline? Drop your take below, because as long as the cameras are rolling, the story isn't over.